Once we got to Prince George, we headed south, retracing our steps back towards the USA. And here we had lots of problems with wildfires and the potential risk of road closure. The video talks a little bit more about what we did and where we did it, but we eventually made our way down until we hit an area where we had to come over to 5 and come down 5 to get back to Hope, BC. From there, we could get back on our track and come down into the USA. We made one more stop after the Fishway on our way back towards the USA, and that was to Gitwangak, to visit the oldest totem poles in original village context anywhere in British Columbia. They date back to about 1835, and they were very cool. We've stopped for the night along the Skeena River, just south of Kitwanga in BC. It is so hot. 88 degrees, I think we saw on the car thermometer on the van. And the smoke is extremely thick in this area. We're kind of thinking that we're probably going to be wearing masks the next day or two, maybe as we drive through this area. Well, we made dinner, and while we were eating dinner, Jed went on the internet and checked the fire status, and the area just south of our camping area is on an evacuation alert. So we are just south of Hazelton's, and we are now driving south to get out of the perimeter of the fire evacuation alert, and it is, as you can see, super smoky. We are heading about 34 miles down the road with the hopes that we are going to be outside of the perimeter of the evacuation alert. It's not a mandatory evacuation, but we can't breathe in this smoke either. And now that explains why we saw a whole bunch of people heading on 16 back the other direction when we started going this way. So anybody that was vacationing here said, we're out of here. And anybody that was here for the weekend is heading home right away to get out from underneath all of this. Our concern was that we might be stuck by smoke and visibility issues, or by fire that would cross over the road or come too near. And if they closed this road, we'd have to turn all the way around, go back up the Cassiar Highway, which is currently questionably open because we've had different information, but we could get stuck in the middle. And so we're on our way. Stay tuned. Well, we made it through the night after we moved camp. It was very smoky, and this morning we are driving south on 16 and really into the smoke again, and still. It is really just everywhere here. But we're at least out of that evacuation alert area, so that was a good thing. And Jed made a really great comment last night when you said that we were blessed to be able to pick up and move our house, which is our van. And a lot of people had to pack up and move their stuff into their car and leave their house. So we truly feel blessed that we can be so mobile and at a moment's notice, more or less, get in the driver's seat and go. And hopefully we won't have to go in a real hurry over the next part of this journey, but it's definitely going to be a smoky trip today.
Leaving a really nice community called Telqua, which is really a nice community on a big river by a big lake in a mix of farming and forest. It's really beautiful here.
Yeah, it is. The Whew, what a hot, long day. We've been driving since about 8 o'clock this morning with a stop in Prince George to get some groceries and some fuel and have some lunch. And then we hit the road again, and it is now 6:17 and we have just parked the vans for the night. I love that we can find these little pullouts and roads that on Google Maps show the potential for a camping spot. We use iOverlander a lot as well, but it's been really neat because we've discovered some places that aren't on there. And we like to be tucked away out of sight as much as possible for some privacy. And we always make sure that we're not encroaching on anyone's property and respect the boundary lines and fences and all of that. So this spot is just a little dirt road off of 97. It's down the hill just enough that the cars and trucks don't really see us all that much. And at night, we might have a little bit of road noise, but it beats sleeping in a rest area as far as we're concerned. It is so hot. It's about 88 to 90 degrees, depending on whether you're uphill slightly or down in the valley. And it is very, very dry. We did manage to come into an area where the air quality index is a lot better. So we're comfortable not wearing our masks, which is a good thing because it's kind of hard to eat dinner with a mask on. But mostly it's just sleeping even. We were so concerned about where we were and trying to sleep in that weather. I mean, that condition of smoke just wasn't very pleasant. We like to have our windows open, especially when it's warm, and we just weren't really comfortable. So hopefully it'll be good the next couple of days, although we are heading down to an area where we've just discovered there's a couple of other wildfires that are very close to the road. So stay tuned for that. You'll be seeing whatever we encounter along the way in this video. Tonight's dinner is going to be really simple. I haven't a clue right now what that is, but it's too hot to do a whole lot of cooking. So we'll figure something out light and fresh and healthy and easy cleanup. Okay, I lied. I like to cook, and even though it was hot, I decided to make something on the stove anyway. I sautéed gnocchi, and while doing that, I sautéed shaved Brussels sprouts with onions, garlic, and sliced mushrooms, all in olive oil to put over the gnocchi, and it was delicious. So we've really come full circle, and we're at the place where we're soon going to be joining up with the road that brought us up into BC, where we met Lewis around the 20th of June. And so it's been several months, and what an adventure we've had.
Yeah.
You know, so many different things that we saw and experienced. The vastness of British Columbia. It truly is beautiful British Columbia, as the slogan. Huh?
In the Yukon.
And the Yukon. Yeah, it's just the Northwest Territories, the Yukon, Alaska. We can't wait to do it again, but we want to do it when there's not this threat of drought and wildfire, which is really kind of hard to say. That next year might be the same thing. We just don't know. We are in Clinton, BC, and there's a whole bunch of military vehicles that are heading north. We're not sure why, because the fire that's kind of raging out of control that is redirecting us is south of us, but maybe there's something behind us that we don't know about. That's the second wave of vehicles that we have seen. Well, it's hard to believe that we've crossed the border back into the USA, and we are ironically camping in the same spot we stayed in the night before we crossed into Canada so long ago. It seems like it. It was, what, June something or other. June 17th, I think. We met Lewis on June 20th, and that was just up the road a little ways. So it was around June 17th as far as our memory goes. And it was drizzling the night we stayed here, and it's currently raining again, which is also ironic. It's been an amazing journey. Tomorrow we say goodbye to Lewis as he goes off to visit his friend again and pick up some equipment that he left there. And then he heads home to Sacramento.
June 19th, we were here last.
June 19th. Oh, I was really close. I said 17th, so it was June 19th. Jed's been taking pictures of every place we've camped because it puts the date on it, and it also shows us which one we liked and which one we didn't like so much as a way to return. But it's really helped us with the log of our journey because some days get too hectic and we're not writing it all down. So that was a great idea you had when you started that out, and you've kept it up. It's on our checklist because there's so many things that are easy to forget. So at the top of our checklist before we drive off, it says take a photo of the camping spot. But you've pretty much remembered that on your own anyway. Just a habit.
That one time we were partway out of the parking lot.
Oh, well, we've had to back up a couple of times.
Go back.
To remember, oops, we didn't take the picture. So, yeah. But it's been just amazing. We drove through the worst smoke that we've had to deal with on the entire journey today. It was really, really bad. And we couldn't believe people are walking around with no masks on whatsoever. Even if it's for a couple of days, we just couldn't fathom why they weren't bothering with a mask of some sort. But
they had it weeks on end.
And they've had it for weeks on end, exactly. So anyway, we'll keep going. As I said earlier, that we will be continuing our journey and we'll be videoing it and posting pictures. But our joint journey has pretty much ended tonight with Lewis. It's been great fun having him join us, or have us join him. It was his plan originally, so.
We even bought appropriate beer up there, wherever this was, near the lake.
Williams Lake.
Near Williams Lake. It's called Cannery Brewing Wildfire Dark Lager, and it goes to benefit the firefighters.
Yeah.
In the area up there. So we thought that was appropriate.
Yeah, very cool. Thinking back on this trip, Jed and I agree that it was an adventure of a lifetime. And we're so glad that we got to share it with our friend and fellow photographer, Lewis Kemper. He understood the need for patience and flexibility and waiting for the light, all those things that photographers understand. So it was really fun to be able to travel down the road and find him stopped unexpectedly because he saw something interesting, or for him to catch up to us after he had stopped to photograph something, and vice versa. We played a game of tag down the road sometimes, each of us finding our own things to photograph. It was a great journey. We can't wait to go back, and we can't wait to share another road trip with Lewis at some point in the near future. This last leg of our journey was met with a lot of challenges with wildfires, smoke, and weather, along with some technical difficulties in recording the sound. Thank you so much for being with us on this whole journey, and we hope that you'll continue to watch our videos as we continue down the road. Please hit the subscribe button to be notified and also the like button. Thank you.